Well, here we are. The end. Come here. The end of disc 4. We're in season 6, disc 4, episode 242. We actually made it through 239, 240, 241 with no garbleness. Hooray! No garbleness! Yay! So, since it's Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. And all the other religions, happy everybody, merry everything. Maybe we could stick around for the whole video. It'd be a nice Christmas present. Oh, 500 subscribers would be a nice present. 1,000 subscribers would be an awesome present. That means people were actually watching my videos. I want people to watch my videos. Don't you want people to watch Mommy's videos? Yes, we want people to watch Mommy's videos. Welcome to the D. Louise book series, Agustina Kairos, Tina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that stuff going on here. Also every single Friday, we have 2 videos, Star Trek Next Generation recap. I'm a series person. I like series progression. And then we do If Then later in the afternoon. If you like this author, then maybe you like that author. We got carried away with Halloween. We did horror, suspense, thriller, cozy Halloweens. We got into Thanksgiving. We did some cozy Thanksgivings. We did Christmas, contemporary romance, cozy Christmases. We're going to start getting back into other themes for the new year. Wish me luck with that. I've got a couple of ones that are a little difficult that are taking deep dive investigations to find. But they're out there. I probably own most of them too. I just got to go through 4,000 books. So, don't forget If Then later this afternoon. It's the final Christmas one, If Then. So anyways, season 6, disc 4, the last episode, Birthright part 1, 242. So, we go into here. Birthright. And we get a captain's voiceover to start. Captain's log, stardate 46578.4. The Enterprise has arrived at Station Deep Space Nine. Ooh, we're getting the Deep Space Nine spin-off to assist in the reconstruction of the Bajoran aqueduct systems damaged during the Cardassian occupation. I don't know if Picard actually stepped foot on Deep Space Nine. If he actually stepped foot on the platforms or whatever on the set. We'll have to see in this episode to see what happens, or the next episode to see what happens. But I'm pretty sure it's the beginning of Deep Space Nine episodes. So we'll have to look. Hold on a sec. So they are on the Deep Space Nine set. Whoa, I'm surprised. Beverly is saying I should be through with the water contaminant analysis in a few hours. Then I'm going to check out one of the hollow suites. They've got a relaxation program here, John Luke, from Altair 7. Listen to this. First they bathe you in a protein bath, then a cloud of chromal vapors carries you into a meditation chamber. You should try it. Well, I'll be too busy discussing the finer points of water management with the 10 Bajoran bureaucrats, and they won't be carrying me on a cloud of vapor chromals. So it looks like Worf and Geordi are enjoying the dining accommodations. LaForge is eating pasta alla Furiella, one of his favorites. Don't worry, you'll love it. You know, I really want to take a look at those Katarian antiques. I understand they've got 21st century plasma coil in almost perfect condition. I'll have to talk with Chief O'Brien about these replicators, Wolf. I don't see how you can eat that stuff. It tastes like liquid polymer. Wolf says it's delicious. Jody says, you know, I think I'm going to look at that kiosk on the other side of the promenade. It looked like they had some real food. And then, So then we're on the Enterprise. Commander, I'm reading a minor power drain in the starboard EPS conduit. What's causing it? The problem's originating in sickbay. There has been an unauthorized access into the computer's bioimaging systems. You'd better check it out. So Data leaves. So we get to see Dr. Bashir, one of the doctor on Deep Space Nine. That's awesome. So Data goes into the sickbay, and he tells him, "I'm sorry, but the use of sick bay equipment is limited to the ship's personnel." He goes, Dr. Julian Bashir, Chief Medical Officer, Deep Space Nine, and you are Commander Data. Commander Data, the synthetic life form. Yes, sir. It's an honor to meet you, sir. I've heard so much about you. You must have a fascinating perspective in the bio-cybernetic research. I'd be delighted if we could discuss this subject sometime. I would be happy to do so. However, I must ask you to stop your experiment. Yes, I realize I should have asked before using your sickbay, but it would have taken me days to analyze this device with the computer I have on Deep Space Nine. What type of device is this, Data asked. It was discovered in the Gamma Quadrant. I think it must be some sort of medical instrument. It appears to employ plasma inputs. I'm hoping it's a medical scanner. I wanted to use your computer to find out how it works. I suggest we take it to engineering and run a complete circuit pathway diagnostic. Splendid. I must admit, Commander, I didn't think you'd be so personable. So, that's him in real life. And I know I've seen him someplace before, and I can't pinpoint the episode that I saw him in, but I know I've seen him before. So I just can't. I know I've seen him, and it just drives me crazy. It wasn't in the list. The list of credits didn't specifically give me a. Oh yeah, that was it. It didn't, but I know I've seen him someplace before. Um. So he goes to talk to Worf, and he says, Klingon, you are Starfleet Klingon. I am Lieutenant Worf. Worf, son of Mog. What of it? I am Jaglom Shrek, a man with information to sell. You have no information I could use. I would not be so sure. It's about your father, Mog. My father died 25 years ago at Kittimer. That is what you believe. What if I tell you he is still alive? My father is dead. No, he's not. I know where he is. How is this possible? Worf says. I expect to be paid for my information. Perhaps we could negotiate an exchange. The location of your father for. Tell me what you know. Not all of the Klingons at Kittimer were killed during the massacre. Many were captured by the Romulans and placed in prison camps on remote planet. Your father was among them. Where is this planet? Not far from here. I could give you the location for a price. A Klingon would rather die than be taken prisoner. I should uh, arrest you for spreading lies about my family. My father was killed defending Kittimer. That's what he says. I would still like to point out that after 6 seasons, there's still the blank space for Wesley Crusher, Will Wheaton's name after Brent Spinner's in the credits. I would just like to point that out. There's still a blank space. I still wish Will Wheaton would have returned for more episodes. I know he does one or two more guest appearances, and I know he appears in the movies later. But I still wish he would have come back to the series. So then Worf gives this guy a really bad time. Ensign Lopez, he did the duty roster wrong. He said the assignment should be listed in order of priority. Please prepare again by 0900. Dismiss. And then Riker wants to talk to Worf again. And then Riker says, Worf, we need to get to your rendezvous schedule to Commander Redmond on board the Mariac as soon as you. I'm well aware of your request, Commander. Lieutenant, are you all right? Yes, sir, I'm fine. I will send you your schedule, sir. Excuse me. And he leaves. So then Troy comes in to see Worf, and it's nice to see her in uniform. She said, "Did the table do something wrong?" "No. I'm glad you weren't that hard on Ensign Lopez. He made a mistake. The duty roster was inaccurate. Would you like to talk about what's bothering you, or would you like to break some more furniture?" Today on the promenade, a Eurodian approached me. He knew who I was and tried to sell me information about Mog. "Your father?" "He claimed that he's alive and is being held in a Romulan prison camp." My God, could it be true? A Klingon would never allow himself to be captured. A warrior fights to the death. If my father were alive, it would dishonor his sons and their sons for 3 generations. Even Alexander would bear the burden of guilt. So you're willing to ignore the possibility because you're concerned about dishonor? My father is dead. The Iridian is selling lies. If you're so sure about that, why are you still so upset, Worf? You can't deny the possibility just because you don't want it to be true. If you want to talk about this, you know where to find me. So then we're in engineering. If we transfer 20 megajoules of energy from the dilithium chamber into the plasma inputs, it should be sufficient to activate the device. It's worth a try. You two can begin by connecting the coil to the chamber. I'll configure the energy transfer. Dr. Bashir says, "Right. Data, can I ask you a personal question?" "Certainly. Does your hair grow?" Data says, "I can control the rate of my follicle replenishment. However, I have not yet had a reason to modify the length of my hair." "Why do you ask?" "Just curious," Bashir says. Um, Power conduits are ready. Is there something wrong, Doctor?" "You're breathing." "Yes, I do have a functional respiration system. However, it's supposed to maintain thermal control of my internal systems. I am in fact capable of functioning for extended periods of time in a vacuum." "And you have a pulse." "My circulatory system not only produces biochemical lubricants, it also regulates microhydraulic power. Almost Most people are interested in my extraordinary abilities, how fast I can compute my memory capacity, how long I will live. No one has ever asked me how my hair will grow or noticed that I can breathe." "Your creator went to a lot of trouble to make you seem human. I find that fascinating." "Okay, I think we're ready to begin the transfer," Geordi says. "Power connections are complete." "I'll monitor the coil transfer rate," Bashir says. "Will you keep an eye on the power transfer response?" "Of course. We are ready, Geordi." "Okay. Initiating energy transfer." So they're playing around with the device. They start the initial energy transfer, and then Bashir says the power levels are holding steady. Data says transient response is normal. Bashir says, "Hold on, I'm picking up a power surge." So they reduce the rate. Jordy reduces it by 20%, and then Data gets hit by this power stream. Um, and he faints and has a vision. So he dreams he's walking down the corridor of the Enterprise. And he goes down the hallway and he runs into Dr. Sung, a very young version of himself. I wish this was one of the times that I could just let the video play out, but you can't. But I wish I could. So then Data's on the floor and Geordi is working on him. "Are you all right?" "I believe so. What happened?" "A plasma shock overloaded your positronic net. You were down a good 30 seconds." "That cannot be possible. I have a memory record for that period of time. I recall a series of images. I saw Dr. Sung, my father." And Geordi's doing tests. "Data, I can't find anything wrong with your positronic suppressors or your circuit controllers. No sign of residual energy fluctuation, cascade overload. My internal diagnostic indicates that my memory systems are functioning within normal parameters. For the 47 seconds I was inactive, there was no record of cognitive activity." There's no doubt about it, Data. You were completely shut down. Maybe you had some kind of random power fluctuation caused you to access one of your memory files. That cannot be. The image I saw was of Dr. Sung as a young man. I did not encounter him until much later in his life. There appears to be no rational explanation for my experience. Jody says, I'll take another look at the diagnostic log. In the meantime, you'd better disconnect that device. Data, perhaps, Dr. Shear says, Data, perhaps we were going about this the wrong way. How so? Well, maybe you had a dream or hallucination. I am not capable of either of those functions. Yet you can't account for what happened today, can you? At present, I cannot. Well, maybe you should approach this from a more human standpoint. You were right that machines can't have hallucinations, but then again, most machines can't grow hair either. And he's right on that one. So Data goes to talk to Worf. What is it, Commander? I'm sorry to bother you, but I have a question of a personal nature. Do you have a moment? A moment. I have heard you mention that you once experienced a vision. Yes. When I was young, my adoptive parents arranged for me to partake in the rite of Maja. I understand it involves deep meditation in the lava caves of Nomad. That prolonged exposure to the heat induces a hallucinatory effect. Why are you asking me this? I have recently had an unusual experience what might be described as a vision. What happened? An accident in engineering shut down my cognitive functions for a short period of time, yet I seemed to remain conscious. I saw my father. You are very fortunate. That is a powerful vision. If it was a vision, I do not know how to proceed. You must find its meaning. If anything has anything to do with your father, you must learn all you can about him. The Klingon Majak ritual, there is nothing more important than receiving a revelation about your father. Your father is part of you, always. Learning about him teaches you about yourself. That is why no matter where he is or what he has done, you must find him. But I'm not looking for my father. Of course. Do not stop until you have the answer. Thank you, Mr. Worf. So Worf goes and talks to Shrek again. Who knew that name would be a really green monster in a couple of years? Couple of green monster years. You have reconsidered. Yes, I wish to go to the Romulan prison camp. Excellent, I can provide you with the coordinates. No, 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 you will take me there. No, it's not possible. I have no means of transportation. I checked the station records. You have a vessel that is capable of warp speed. I do not have the time. I have other business. And he dangles him over the railing. What is the reason you do not wish to take me? Is it because you have told me is not true? No. The camp is located on the edge of Romulan space. It is a dangerous journey. Dangerous? It would be more dangerous for you to refuse. Very well. I will require full payment in advance. No, no, no. I will pay you after. But, well, if you are lying, there is no prison camp. I will kill you. The Romulan guards have detection perimeter. It will be necessary to transport you to the surface 30 kilometers before the prison camp. Let's see what happens. Now I want to know, did Worf ask permission from Captain Picard to do this away mission? Or did he tell anybody he was going anywhere? Just wondering. The Romulan guards have a detection perimeter. It will be necessary to transport you to the surface 30 kilometers from the prison camp. The foliage is very dense. It will take me approximately 12 hours to reach the camp. I may have to travel during the night. That would be unwise. This is not an empty jungle. There are many predators. I am prepared. Very well. I recommend that you look up from time to time. The arboreal needle snake likes to attack from above. I will provide you with a map of the camp. How did you learn of this camp? It is not important for you to know. Why have you not informed the Klingon government of this place? I sell information. I do not give it away. You do this for profit. I have my reasons, Mr. Worf. What reasons could you have for letting these people suffer? We will arrive in Kare sector in approximately 3 hours. I suggest you get some rest. So Data comes to see Captain Picard. I'm sorry to disturb you, sir. Not at all. I'm here studying the intricacies of Bajoran aqueduct management. I would welcome an interruption. Please sit down. I require your advice. I've come to an impasse regarding my recent unexplained experience. Your vision of Dr. Sung. How is your investigating proceeding? I've analyzed over 4,000 different religious and philosophical systems as well as over 200 psychological schools of thought in an effort to understand what happened. And what have you found? I have been unable to find a single interpretation of the images I saw during the time I was shut down. The hammer, for instance, has several meanings. The Klingon culture views the hammer as a symbol of power. However, the tackling power sees it as an icon of hearth and home. The Ferengis view it as a sign of sexual prowess. I'm curious today to why are you looking at all these other cultures? The interpretation of a vision and other metaphysical experience are almost always culturally derived. I have no culture of my own. Yes, you do. You're a culture of one, which is no less valid than a culture of 1 billion. Perhaps the key to understanding your experience is to stop looking into other sources for meaning. When we look at a Michelangelo's David or a Sime tomb, we don't ask what this means to other people. The real question is what it means to us. Explore this image data. Let it excite your imagination. Focus on it. See where it leads you. Let it inspire you. I believe I understand, sir. Thank you. So then Data starts painting a picture of Dr. Sung in his vision. Don't know why. So I know it's dark on the planet. I know that's the whole idea. But sometimes it would be nice to be able to see the actors. There are so many shows that want to be dark and eerie, but you don't see the actors. What's the point if you can't see anybody? Um, the camp is in a southeasterly direction, approximately 10 kilometers. You will come to the edge of a sulfur canyon. Look from a riverbank and follow it until you come to the camp. This is a homing device. It will allow you to find my ship when I return. I will not be landing in the same location. When will you return? 50 hours. Don't be late. Worf sets off. Many hours later, he hears splashing and finds himself spying on someone who's just been in a pool. Let's see. So then Worf runs into this girl. She says, "Who are you? I've come to help you. Help me. How did you get out of the camp? Does anyone know you are gone?" "Yes, I come here often." "You must lead me to the camp." "You are Klingon. Where did you come from?" "That doesn't matter. I've come to take you home." "Home? This is my home." And then someone calls her off screen. And he tells her, "Don't tell anybody I'm here." And she goes off screen. So Geordi comes into Data's room and finds Data painting. A whole slew of paintings depicting his vision. There's several. The whole room is lined with all these paintings. Another time I wish I could show the whole thing, but I can't. I'm painting. I can see that. How long have you been at this? I have 23 individual illustrations in the past 6 hours, 27 minutes. I believe you could say I've been inspired. I'll say, I have done as Captain Picard suggested. I've tried to explore these images. Has it helped? I'm not certain. I began by painting the image of this blacksmith. After that, I painted the corridor. After that, the anvil, the hammer, Dr. Sung's face. Then the thought occurred to me that I should paint smoke. Smoke what? I can't explain it. It's an image I saw during my vision. Well, you have the smoke coming out of a bucket of water. Blacksmiths used to use water to cool the metal. Maybe that's why you painted it. Perhaps after I painted the smoke, it then occurred to me to paint a bird's wing. Then I drew an entire bird, a flock of birds flying into formation, an individual feather. If the image of the bird is related to my vision, I do not understand how. I am left with more of a mystery than ever, Jordy. I would like to create the experiment which caused my initial shutdown. What for? I do not know how much longer my vision would have continued had I not been reactivated. Data, that plasma shock almost fused your neural net. I don't think it's a good idea to try that again. I am aware of the risk, but I can think of no other way to investigate my experience. Will you help me? Yeah, sure. I'll go find Dr. Bashir. I will prepare the power. So they perform the thing again, and Data gets electrocuted. My gal pal is here. She's We're talking. We're negotiating here. Um, she doesn't like it. Uh, a lady has offered me 3 kittens, and while 2 of my kittens would love to have playmates, absolutely love to have playmates, the queen here is not happy. Not happy about it at all. So we'll see. So Data, they do the experiment, he gets hit with the electricity again. So he goes back and sees Dr. Noon soon. I don't know, the bird did not appear in my original vision. This vision is different. Of course it's different. It's never the same, always changing, unpredictable. It doesn't make sense. What is happening, Father? I do not know, Data. What is happening? So he does the thing in the water. You know who else saw the crow was 7 of 9 when she saw the raven. Um, Of course, it is different. It's never safe and always changing. It isn't particular. What we are on the bridge. My cat is present. My plotted plan and my paintings. A beginning, still a little grounded in the mundane, but showing promise. I do not understand. You're not supposed to. No man should know where his dreams come from. It spoils the mystery, the fun. I'm proud of you, son. I wasn't sure you'd ever developed cognitive abilities to make it this far. But if you're here, if you can see me, you've crossed over the threshold from being a collection of circuits and sub-processes and started a wonderful journey. A journey of what? I think of it as an empty sky. I do not understand. Shush, Data. Just dream. Just dream. You are a bird. He flies along the corridor, passing out into the wonders of space before waking up in engineering. He has him on a bed on the bridge of the Enterprise. What the F up with that? And they're watching Data in engineering. Um, and then he wakes up. The images I saw during the time I was shut down were generated by a series of previously dormant circuits in my neural net. I believe Dr. Sung incorporated those circuits into my base programming, intending to activate them when I reached a certain level of development. But the plasma shock activated them prematurely. That is correct. I am curious. Now that those circuits are active, what are you going to do with them? I plan to shut down my cognitive functions for a brief period each day. I hope to generate new internal visions. It sounds to me like you're talking about dreaming. An accurate analogy. Remarkable. You know, this is just the kind of thing that could get me published in Starfleet cybernetics journals. Would you mind if I authored a paper on this? Of course not, Data says. Thank you, and sweet dreams. So they're performing some kind of ceremony, and they're singing some kind of song. So Worf talks to this older guy. I am a friend. Who are you? Worf, son of Morg. Why have you come here? I've come here to find my father. Is he alive? Is he here? Your father fell at Kittimer. Did he die in battle? He was fortunate. You were captured. Yes. Romulans, they robbed you of your right to die in battle. There was very little time. How many Klingons are being held here? 73. How many Romulans guard the camp? Worf, there are things you do not understand. What do you speak of? I must speak with the elders. He says, I knew your father well, Worf. I remember you, a boy barely able to lift a bat'leth. Once your father insisted we take you on the ritual hunt. You were so eager, you tried to take the beast with your bare hands. It mauled your arms. I still have the scar. I do remember you now. You should not have come here, Worf. I do not understand. You should not have come. Who is this? I am Worf, son of Morg. I have come to help you escape. He does not know. He must leave at once. No, it is too late for that. He would bring the others. And Worf gets captured. Let's just see if we can find it. So they grab him and capture him, and that's how the episode ends. So that is the end of Birthright. So tune in next week where we do Birthright Part 2. Week after Starship Mine. lessons, and the chase. And don't forget, if then later this afternoon, our final Christmas. If then we'll be moving on some more adventure stuff in January. I hope you had a good Christmas. Please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you very much.